Hi, I'm Rick Kahler. Thanks for joining me today. Well, insurance is often described as protection for a rainy day. If you really want to protect yourself against the worst rainstorms, maybe what you need is an umbrella policy. Umbrella insurance is personal liability coverage that extends beyond the limits of your homeowners and auto insurance policies. A common minimum amount is $1 million, with amounts of up to $5 or even $10 million not being unusual. Umbrella insurance is an important asset protection strategy for those who have a net worth of several $1 million and want to protect themselves against frivolous lawsuits or possible sky-high judgments. George Freer of First Western Insurance in Rapid City, South Dakota, recommends having an umbrella policy that it covers your net worth, or at least half of your net worth. For those of you who aren't wealthy, umbrella coverage may at first glance seem to be excessive or totally unnecessary. Yet when you look much more closely at the numbers, that minimum of $1 million doesn't really seem like so much. Let me give you an example. The highest amount of liability coverage currently available through the standard auto insurance policy is $500,000. Suppose you were in an accident where 2 new cars were totaled and several people were seriously injured. Just the out-of-pocket costs for the medical expenses could easily eat up the $500,000. That's not even considering the possibility of a lawsuit for damages over and above those costs, like, for example, the earning power of the individual for the rest of their life would be something that you could easily be sued for if the individual was disabled permanently. The only possible downside to a large umbrella policy is that it may create exactly the deep pockets that make someone more likely to be the target for a lawsuit or a claim for unreasonably high damages. Since judgments are often awarded for the maximum amount of someone's policy, having an umbrella policy for more than your net worth isn't necessarily the best option. On the other hand, of course, someone would certainly sue you for more than your net worth. Nor does the insurance company consider your net worth as a factor in approving the amount of coverage. Policyholders wouldn't have anything to gain from overinsuring as they might from insuring a house or other tangible property for more than its value. There isn't exactly a high risk that someone would burn down his investment portfolio in order to collect on an umbrella policy. The question of how much coverage you might need through an umbrella policy would be best answered after a discussion with both your insurance agent and your financial planner. Most major insurance companies offer umbrella policies, and this type of coverage is really relatively inexpensive, especially compared to the benefits that it offers. An umbrella policy really is your first line of protection in an asset protection strategy. You might get a discounted rate if you can obtain a policy from a company that already carries your auto or homeowner's insurance. Typically, they're fairly inexpensive. Now, most companies require you to have specific minimum amounts of liability coverage through your homeowners and your auto insurance policies before you can get an umbrella policy, or before the umbrella policy will actually kick in. It's really important to make sure you coordinate your policy so you don't have a gap in coverage. Since the umbrella policy doesn't kick in until the maximum has been paid on your other policies, any liability between those maximums and the minimum of your umbrella policy is going to come right out of your pocket. I need to express my appreciation to George Freer for discussing the umbrella insurance at one of our recent teleclasses. Thanks to his information, and I'm chuckling because I checked my own coverage and discovered I didn't have an umbrella policy. And that's an omission that I promptly remedied. I certainly don't advise clients to carry more insurance than they reasonably need. Having a big enough umbrella, however, is a good way to make sure you aren't caught unprotected by one of life's downpours. Thanks for joining me.